We haven't seen the body camera footage yet from the police. Now, they'll say this is an ongoing investigation. My counter argument to that is, you see those people out in the street? This isn't happening in a vacuum, okay? The court of public opinion matters in situations like this. This is not a vacuum. That video has to come out ASAP in all of these cases, okay? Why? Well, what have we seen? George Floyd pinned on the ground with an officer's knee on his neck for a long time, leading to his death. New surveillance video obtained by a nearby restaurant shows Floyd's initial point of contact with police. Now, here's my understanding of it. An officer escorts him out of an SUV, responding, according to police, to a supposed forgery in progress. That's what this was. This is what this started as. It wasn't a shootout. Wasn't a drug deal gone bad. It was a bad check. Once handcuffed, Floyd sits on the sidewalk. Moments later, he's escorted away, hands behind his back. The end of the video, it's unclear what happens. Maybe you tell better than I. But he appears to fall on the ground as they walk him toward the squad car. Watch. Right now. You see him go down? Now, I don't know if he hit his head or whatever there on the side of the vehicle. I don't know if he fell or he was pushed to the ground. The officers then have him back on his feet, and it's not clear at what point he was back on the ground again, as we see in the infamous video. What happened then and in the moments after? Video's all we have right now. They're the ones with the body cameras on. This is why they wear them. So until we get it, we have to work the story and get eyewitnesses, and we have one. Donald Williams. He says he was there calling on police to let Floyd up and watched as he was taken away in the ambulance. That is our witness. You just saw it. This is him. This is our witness. So this is our proof that he was there, okay? He's here for his first TV interview. And Mr. Williams, I know that this is not a discussion that is easy for you to have. I know you don't feel completely safe having it. And I thank you for taking the opportunity to do it with us tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So please, from what we saw there, how did you come upon the scene and what was your initial take on what was happening?
Yeah, it's a lot for me to take in, but it was a really little average day to the corner store. Honestly, I was just really going to get something to drink from the store. I'm in the neighborhood, and I chose a cup to go to. And once I approached the store, I seen 3 squad cars outside the store. I didn't really think too much of it. I live in a city. I'm from the city.
Right.
Things happen in the city. It's a lot of different things that happen, and the police got to do their job to protect everybody, and what on and what not. That's what was going through my mind. So I was like, another day. So as I was getting out the car, I was just hearing a lot of noise and different motions of voices and at different tones, and when I was about to walk in the store, like my spirit just like kind of stopped me. It was like, maybe you shouldn't walk in the store. Maybe you should actually go over there and see what's going on. Because I usually just mind my business, unless I don't need to, And
what did you see?
As I was walking over there, I seen a couple of people standing there first. I seen the squad car, and I seen one Asian officer, Tao. And I heard people vocally speaking to an individual about, maybe you should, you're cooperate and you're okay now. Maybe they're going to be able to let you up, and then I started hearing, as I was walking, another guy talking about he couldn't breathe and something about my stomach. So I've been working with the Minneapolis Police Department through Peachy Luce's, the clubs, for the last 10 years. So once I walked up and then doing personal security, I just sat there and observed first to see what was going on, to see if it was, what was going on, because I didn't know. And first thing I noticed was, I didn't know his name was at the time, but I think his name is Gray Floyd, George Floyd. George Floyd, and he was actually, panting for his life, begging for, his forgiveness. Like, I pretty much saying he's sorry, he's gonna do the right things. He want to get up. His stomach's hurting. He can't breathe. His nose is hurting. And once I realized how the officer was on him, everything that he was describing to me sounded like a.
How was the officer on him?
He had his knee, across his neck, so, and I'm not talking across the back of his neck. I'm saying across the blood part of his neck from here to here. So his knee wasn't from here to here, which is your spinal part. His knee was from here to here, which is your articles and your blood
Yeah, yeah.
choke, your veins and things like that, the things that cut your circulation off from your neck and your brain to your body part,
For how long do you think it was like that?
I got there at least 8 to 10 minutes because another witness walked up a little bit after me, and at this time you can hear my voice in the video explaining to this officer what he's doing, what he's capable of, and what they could not be doing at the moment.
What did anybody explain to you, or did anything make sense to you about why were they just sitting there with this guy with his knee on his neck and the officers around? Like, why did it take so long?
Well, see, like I said, I didn't know what was actually going on. So if you hear in the video, I actually asked him. I said, what's going on, officer? This is when I finally approached because the people said his blood coming out his nose, and I'm noticing it now. At the point, his eyes is turning a different color, and he's talking about his belly hurts, which is pretty much your last bowel movement in your life. And so that's when I started, pleading with the officers, and nobody else really. I mean, there's only 2 or 3 other people that really spoke up, about it. Me, another guy, and the lady off duty fire department
Did
lady.
they give you any explanation as to why they were keeping him there and why it was taking so long?
They said he was resisting arrest, and when he told me he was resisting arrest, I said, "Officer, he's not resisting arrest. You have your knee in him, and you have handcuffs on him. He is detained at this moment." Officer Todd proceeded to say, "Well, this is what drugs do to you, and that's not what drugs do to you. Drugs don't get you killed." By
Yeah,
cops.
yeah. Either way, they seem to have him well in control. And
Correct.
did you make any sense of why they didn't just pick him up and put him in the car and arrest him, which is what the job was?
Right. Yeah, I didn't make no sense of it. Like I said, I work with a lot of cops in Minneapolis. A lot of them could tell you I've trained Mr. Martial Arts for the last 10 years on the Greg Nelson. Like, me as a little guy, like I was renting a door at Pichaluches. I'm able to secure and control someone, at 5'6", that's
Yeah.
6'10", 6'20", if you're using the right technique. And they technically was not using professional technique. They was
No,
using a
nobody
depth
is trained to put their knee on somebody's throat as a suppression technique. It's not part of a martial arts. It's not even allowed. Forget about fair fighting, but this is not what cops are supposed to do. And obviously, we know that too well now. But the part that makes the least sense, did any of the cops, did you hear them talking to each other about why they couldn't just move him and get him out of the situation?
Bro, they wanted to kill that man, bro. Like, I'm being 100, bro. They didn't speak. They didn't say nothing. The views in his eyes, bro. The man that had his knee on his chest, bro. He knew what he was doing. His shimmies in my man's neck, bro. He knew what he was doing. It's just like having a jiu-jitsu choke. If I'm here, I'm shimmying, boom, my choke's on there. I told him it was a blood choke. He knew it was a blood choke. He looked at me when I said it. He put his head down. He did not make any more gestures. He did not say any other thing. And the 2 other cowards that was on the other side of the car, I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know about until I got videos in my social media and things like that. So they was intent to smother my man and kill my man. And I seen it. I seen it in his eyes. I seen it in his demeanor, and I seen it in their movement. And Officer Tao didn't partake in it, but he had control of what was going on the other side of that car for me not to see what was going on. Because the people that know me personally know how I am. And I'm very good. I'm a controlled athlete. I'm a controlled person. I have different levels to who I am. And I show my controlledness out there in front of the world. I got letters, notes from multiple people that know me from growing up in the city that said I was the most controlled they ever seen in my life. As I'm seeing another man that looked like me, that feels like me, that got the same complexion as me, lose his life to another man that had no senseless. He had no feeling. He had no remorse. He had shit in him. He had no feeling. I don't even think he had a heart at that moment. And he's going to feel that for the rest of his life. Just like I'm going to hear my man say this. I can't breathe. I want my mama. And I'm coming to find out that this man who died 2 years on the day that his mom died, I'm a mama's boy, bro. Like, that shit hurts me deep down inside, bro. And like, something needs to be done, or something needs to be done.
I know this is hard for you, especially having been there, and that you wanted to help, and that you were afraid this was going to happen. And I know the police tried to get you out of there, and supposedly there is video of you showing restraint and just pushing hands away from you, but not engaging with the officer. And I know that's not easy in a situation like that.
It's not, man. Like I said, I'm a trained athlete, bro. I put my hands up because I didn't know what he was gonna do next. Like he doesn't understand. I have multiple limbs. I could have did whatever I wanted to him, but I have to go to my own kids. I got a family. Like you know, so much emotions running into my. Yeah, I was chosen for this. I don't even know why I was there, but shit, I guess I was chosen for this shit, bro. Like,
Listen, these situations, as you said, growing up where you are, you've seen a lot of this. You've seen a lot of ugly situations and a lot of things that don't make sense. And hopefully, the only hope we can have here is that this is one too many, and that this gets the attention of justice that it deserves. I know there's been a lot of frustration in that city, and I know this is hard for you. I appreciate you telling the story. I appreciate you sharing your emotion. I'll check in with you right after the show and see how your head and your heart are.